The disappearance of Amelia Earhart, one of America's biggest mysteries, may finally be solved. A brand new analysis found that the bones discovered on a remote island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Fame, fortune, the bright lights of the world's stage. For some, it's a dream come true. For others, it becomes a nightmare. Imagine stepping into the spotlight one day and vanishing without a trace the next. No clues, no explanations, just empty echoes where once there was celebrity. Tonight, we uncover the chilling stories of 20 famous faces who disappeared and were never seen again. These aren't tales from fiction or exaggerated headlines. They are real people, real lives, real mysteries that baffle investigators to this day. Some were on the cusp of greatness. Others had already etched their names into history. And then, nothing. Vanished. Forgotten by the world, but never by the whispers of curiosity that linger in the shadows. Each disappearance is unique, yet every story shares a common thread. Fame cannot shield you from the unknown. And we begin with a woman whose name became legend long before her disappearance. Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart. Who she was. Pioneer aviator, first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. Disappearance, July 2, 1937, near Howland Island during a circumnavigation attempt. Search and theories. $4 million search by the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard. No trace. Speculation of crash at sea or survival on a deserted island. Legacy / unresolved mystery. Inspires generations of aviators. Disappearance remains unsolved. But Amelia was not the only one to vanish into history. Decades later, a scion of American wealth disappeared under equally mysterious circumstances. Michael Rockefeller, who he was. Son of Nelson Rockefeller, Harvard graduate, art collector. Disappearance, 1961, while attempting to swim to shore in New Guinea. Search and theories. Extensive search. Rumors of death by local tribes. Body never recovered. Legacy, unresolved mystery. Symbol of privilege meeting the unpredictability of fate. From the jungles of New Guinea to the war-torn streets of Cambodia, another man vanished, leaving only his camera and haunting photographs. Who he was? Son of Hollywood legend Errol Flynn. Started as an actor, but became a fearless photojournalist during the Vietnam War. Disappearance. April 6, 1970, while riding motorcycles with fellow photojournalist Dana Stone along Cambodia's Highway 1. They were last seen at a Viet Cong checkpoint. Search and theories. Extensive search by friends and colleagues turned up nothing. Declassified U.S. documents later suggested Flynn may have been held and executed, but no proof exists. Legacy, unresolved mystery. Left behind a powerful body of war photography that transformed public understanding of the Vietnam conflict. From the dangers of war zones to the jungles of Malaysia, another man vanished while walking in broad daylight, leaving the world searching for answers that may never come. Jim Thompson. Who he was. American businessman and former OSS officer. Revived Thailand's silk industry. Disappearance. March 26, 1967, in Malaysia's Cameron Highlands while on a walk with friends. Search and theories. One of the largest searches in Malaysian history. Hundreds of people scoured the jungle for months. Speculation ranged from assassination to secret intelligence missions. Legacy / unresolved mystery. Declared dead in 1974. His Bangkok house is now a museum. Thompson remains a symbol of international intrigue and unsolved disappearance. But perhaps no disappearance in America has captivated the public imagination quite like one labor leader's vanishing act. Jimmy Hoffa. Who he was? Powerful labor union leader and controversial figure with ties to organized crime. Disappearance. July 30th, 1975. Last seen at a restaurant in Bloomfield Township, Michigan, after arranging a meeting with mob figures. Search and theories. Theories ranged from burial under stadiums to mob hits. Ground-penetrating radar studies in 2019 debunked some legends, but the mystery remains. Legacy / unresolved mystery. His disappearance transcended a missing person case, becoming a permanent fixture of American pop culture. From mobsters to Hollywood, young talent vanished in Los Angeles under circumstances equally puzzling. Jean Spangler. Who she was, aspiring Hollywood actress and dancer in the late 1940s, appearing in minor film roles. Disappearance. October 7, 1949. Left her Los Angeles home after telling family she was meeting her ex-husband about child support. Never returned. Search and theories. Last seen shopping at a local store. A mysterious note was found mentioning a meeting, sparking rumors of foul play, possible gang involvement, or secret rendezvous. Legacy / unresolved mystery. Hollywood's dark side is embodied in her story, a young woman whose potential was cut short by a vanishing that remains unsolved. Across the Golden Gate Bridge, another disappearance would puzzle authorities and ignite speculation for decades. Who he was: American poet, painter, filmmaker, jazz pianist, an unheralded creative genius. Disappearance. July 18, 1955. His car was found abandoned on the north side of the Golden Gate Bridge. Keys in the ignition, personal items left behind. Search and theories. Conflicting evidence. Recent bank withdrawals, cat left with neighbors, talk of moving to Mexico. Many assumed suicide, but others suspected a deliberate disappearance. Legacy. Unresolved mystery. His work achieved posthumous recognition. Keyes's vanishing mirrors the tragic theme of a brilliant life quietly erased from sight. Decades later, the music world would face its own haunting mystery. This time, a rising star disappearing without a trace. Forrest Shab, D.I. Who he was. Canadian rapper poised for breakout success, had released singles and prepared his debut album. Disappearance. October 2010. Vanished while vacationing in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Stopped communicating with friends and family. Social media accounts fell silent. Search and theories. Canadian and Mexican authorities have provided little information. Some speculate foul play, others a voluntary disappearance. Legacy, unresolved mystery. Shab's promising music career halted abruptly, leaving fans and the industry haunted by unanswered questions. As the world of literature proves, not all disappearances involve fame at the time. Sometimes, prodigies vanish into the shadows. Barbara Newhall Follett. Who she was. Child prodigy novelist. Published her first book at 12 and her second at 14, earning critical acclaim. Disappearance. December 7, 1939. After an argument with her husband in Brooklyn, Massachusetts, 25-year-old Follett walked out of her apartment with $30 and vanished. Search and theories. Despite searches, no trace was found. Some speculate she ran away. Others suggest foul play. The Great Depression and personal struggles may have contributed to her mysterious exit. Legacy. Unresolved mystery. Follett's extraordinary early talent remains overshadowed by her disappearance, a haunting reminder of brilliance lost to history's unresolved mysteries. Music history holds its own chilling enigma, an artist whose final journey into the desert would never be explained. Connie Converse. Who she was. 1950s singer-songwriter, a pioneer of intimate, poetic music in New York City's Greenwich Village. Disappearance, 1974. At age 50, after writing farewell letters, she drove away from her Kalamazoo, Michigan home and was never seen again. Search and theories. Some believe she started a new life under a different identity. Others speculate misfortune struck during her journey. No confirmed sightings or communications ever emerged. Legacy, unresolved mystery. Converse's music, largely unrecognized during her lifetime, gained posthumous appreciation. her disappearance adding a layer of mystique to her artistic legacy. From folk melodies to haunting guitar riffs, another musician vanished, leaving behind only eerie coincidences and abandoned possessions. Jim Sullivan. Who he was, singer-songwriter, released debut album UFO in 1969, performed in Malibu's music scene, connected to industry figures. Disappearance. March 1975. Drove from Los Angeles to Nashville. His Volkswagen Beetle was found abandoned 26 miles from La Mesa Motel, with belongings inside. Search and theories. Extensive searches revealed no signs of foul play. His lyrics eerily referenced highways, deserts, and alien abduction, fueling speculation about a voluntary disappearance or mysterious fate. Legacy, unresolved mystery. Sullivan's music found acclaim decades later. His sudden vanishing remains one of music history's most haunting unsolved mysteries. The world of sports would soon see its own enigmatic exit, a professional athlete disappearing without explanation. Bison Dele, Brian Williams. Who he was, former NBA star, won a championship with the Chicago Bulls in 1997. Legally changed his name to honor his Native American and African ancestry. Disappearance, July 6, 2002. While sailing his catamaran Hakuna Matata in the South Pacific with 3 companions, only one returned. Search and theories. International manhunt ensued. Evidence suggested foul play, possibly murder at sea. The returned companion, Miles DeBoer, later died in a hospital under mysterious circumstances. Bodies of Bison Dele and his companions were never recovered. Legacy, unresolved mystery. The case remains one of sports history's strangest unsolved mysteries. A champion lost to the vast ocean, and the truth buried with him. Even immense fame cannot shield you from vanishing. Next, a basketball star would vanish on land, leaving only questions behind. Rico Harris, he was, NBA hopeful with extraordinary talent. Former Harlem Globetrotter, college star at Cal State Northridge. Disappearance, October 10, 2014. Drove from Seattle to Southern California to visit family. Last call at 1:00 a.m. Car later found abandoned in remote Yolo County, California, over 100 miles off route. Search and theories. Extensive searches by law enforcement revealed a backpack and shoe, but no trace of Harris. Theories range from a breakdown in isolation to foul play. Occasional reported sightings fueled hope, but led nowhere. Legacy, unresolved mystery. Harris's promising life ended in mystery, joining the tragic list of athletes whose careers and lives vanished without explanation. Some disappeared decades ago, others in the heat of scandal and intrigue. Next, a literary giant would vanish into history. Ambrose Bierce. Who he was, American author, satirist, and journalist, wrote The Devil's Dictionary and short stories like An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge. Disappearance, October 1913. Traveled to Mexico during the Mexican Revolution. Last confirmed letter dated December 26, 1913. Search and theories. Theories include execution by revolutionary forces, espionage, secret escape to Europe, or faking death. No grave or definitive account of his final days exists. Legacy / unresolved mystery. Bierce's disappearance mirrors themes from his own work, vanishing without trace. His end remains a century-old literary and historical enigma. From authors to aristocrats, the next disappearance entwined wealth, privilege, and crime in a tale that shocked an entire nation. Lord Lucan. Who he was. British aristocrat, the 7th Earl of Lucan, wealthy, educated, and a notorious gambler. Once rumored for James Bond, his life blended privilege and scandal. Disappearance. But after the family nanny, Sandra Rivet, was bludgeoned to death in the Lucan home, Lucan vanished. He made a call to his mother, wrote letters claiming innocence, then disappeared completely. Search and theories. Investigations suggested he fled abroad, assumed a new identity, or possibly lived as a recluse in remote locations. Despite multiple leads over decades, no conclusive trace was found. Legacy, unresolved mystery. In February 2016, a death certificate was issued, yet the question remains, did Lord Lucan live out his days in hiding, or did he vanish forever? From aristocrats to child actors, fame and fortune could not prevent the next shocking disappearance. Joe Pixler, who he was, a promising child actor, known for roles in Beethoven films and other popular movies of the early 2000s. Disappearance. On January 5, 2006, 18-year-old Pixler left a friend's apartment in Breton, Washington, and vanished. 4 days later, his car was found abandoned near Port Madison Narrows Bridge, with a cryptic note requesting possessions be given to his younger brother. Search and theories. Extensive searches yielded no trace. Speculation ranged from voluntary disappearance to foul play, but no evidence confirmed either. Legacy/unresolved mystery. More than 15 years later, Pixler's fate remains unknown, a chilling reminder of how quickly young lives can vanish from view. From child stars to rock musicians, the next disappearance shocks the music world. Scott Smith, who he was, bassist for the Canadian rock band Loverboy, part of the 1980s music scene's biggest hits. Disappearance. On November 30, 2000, Smith was sailing near Point Conception, California, when a massive 25 wave swept him overboard. Search and theories. An intensive U.S. Coast Guard search covered 5,800 square miles, but found nothing. His companions survived, leaving the circumstances of his disappearance a complete mystery. Legacy/unresolved mystery. Presumed drowned, Smith's tragic vanishing left a lasting impact on his bandmates and fans, proving even fame cannot protect from nature's unpredictability. From the open sea to troubled legal battles, the next celebrity disappearance defies explanation. Zoe Matane, Zoe Matane, approx 90 words. Who she was, a rising television actress, known for her engaging performances and growing popularity in early 2020s. Disappearance. In January 2021, Zoe vanished from public life amid personal and legal disputes, including allegations involving her child. Her social media went silent, and no public appearances were reported. Search and theories. With limited official statements and ongoing legal matters, the reasons behind her sudden absence remain unclear. Speculation ranges from deliberate retreat to forced circumstances. Legacy, unresolved mystery. Once visible on screens across her country, Zoe Matane's disappearance is a stark reminder that personal struggles can eclipse public fame. As we move from fame to the soul of music, the next disappearance shocks the rhythm of an entire city. Jimmy "Sweet" Robinson, approx 90 words. Who he was. Lead singer of Detroit's vocal group, the Falcons. Celebrated in the 1960s for his powerful tenor and magnetic stage presence. Disappearance. In the summer of 1966, Robinson vanished without a trace during the peak of his career. No official sightings, no notes, no clues. Search and theories. Little effort seems to have been made to investigate his disappearance. Some speculate foul play. Others suggest he left voluntarily to escape the pressures of the music industry. Legacy, unresolved mystery. His voice remains immortalized in recordings, yet Jimmy "Sweet" Robinson himself has vanished into obscurity. One final story remains, a tale of vanished potential that echoes across continents and decades. Wrap-up, reflection, 20 lives, 20 vanishings, each story as baffling as it is haunting. From musicians to athletes, authors to aristocrats, These individuals vanished in ways that defy explanation. Some were pursued by extensive searches, others left only whispers and rumors behind. Fame, wealth, and talent offered no protection. Mystery was the ultimate equalizer. Legacy, unresolved mystery. In every case, the unknown continues to fascinate, provoke theories, and inspire cautionary tales. Their disappearances linger as reminders that life's most compelling stories are often the ones without endings. And as the world continues to watch and wonder, one question remains: who might vanish next, leaving only a trail of unanswered questions in their wake?